Brad Pitt's latest court filing just exposed his own multi-million-dollar war against Angelina Jolie, and the receipt is buried in his own evidence. The world thinks this is just another bitter fight between exes over a French winery. The common belief is that this is a business dispute where Angelina Jolie sold her half of Chateau Miraval out of spite, and Brad Pitt is just trying to protect the asset he built. But the reality, confirmed by these new documents, is that this is a high-stakes war over what Jolie can and cannot say about the 2016 plane incident. The winery is just the battlefield. The real prize is silence. So what exactly is in this new court filing? Why is Brad Pitt demanding $35 million from his ex-wife? And how does this all connect to a secret personal misconduct NDA? We've pulled the new filings, mapped the timeline of the exhibits, and cross-referenced the PR statements to show you the money, the motives, and the strategy that nobody is talking about. This is the expectations versus reality of the Pitt-Jolie legal war. The single most shocking part of this new filing isn't the winery, it's the NDA. On October 29, 2025, Brad Pitt's legal team submitted a new motion to try and get more documents from Angelina Jolie's team, but as an exhibit, to prove their point, they included an email from Jolie's lawyers dated November 2023. Per People magazine on November 5, 2025, that email contains the smoking gun. Jolie's team directly references, quote, Pitt's continuing refusals to produce documents relating to the reasons why he needed his 4-year NDA covering his personal misconduct. Let's pause on that. This isn't just a standard business non-disclosure agreement. Jolie's own legal team, in a document Pitt's team has now made public, calls it an NDA to cover his, quote, personal misconduct. This is the very phrase Jolie's side has repeatedly used to link these negotiations to the abuse allegations from the 2016 private plane flight. For years, Pitt's team has denied this. They have maintained this is a business matter. But now, in their own filing, they have submitted the very document that confirms Jolie's central claim. This completely changes the narrative. The public story was that Jolie sold her share to a Russian oligarch, Yuri Shefler, to hurt Pitt. Pitt's 2022 lawsuit claimed she violated a prior agreement that they wouldn't sell without the other's approval. But Jolie's team has countered, saying Pitt refused to buy her out unless she signed an ironclad NDA. Pitt's team has strongly denied all allegations of abuse and has previously stated that Jolie's team proposed an even broader mutual non-disparagement clause later in their divorce. But this new email exhibit submitted by Pitt's side seems to confirm that a personal misconduct NDA was in fact a central part of their negotiations. So, for the first time, we have a document submitted by Pitt's own team that confirms Jolie's core argument that the sale of this winery was blocked unless she agreed to a massive silence clause tied to his alleged conduct. But that misconduct NDA wasn't the only bombshell in the email. It also confirmed the exact price of this war. For months, the public knew Pitt was suing for damages, but the number was just speculation. The same November 2023 email, first reported by Extra TV on November 6, 2025, spells it out in black and white. Jolie's lawyers write, quote, "The burdensome nature of any production is a matter of Mr. Pitt's own creation. He is suing Miss Jolie for $35 million in damages. This is not a guess. This is not a tabloid rumor. This is a hard number. $35 million from a legal communication that is now part of the public court record. As a result, Jolie's lawyers argue, quote, he has to incur the expense of producing the documents that will show or not show those damages. This explains the legal back and forth. Pitt is claiming $35 million in harm, and Jolie's team is saying, fine, show us the receipts, and you pay for it. An October 2023 email from her team, also in the new filing, mentions Pitt is seeking, quote, ongoing damages for alleged harm to Miraval's ongoing operations. Think about the pressure this creates. This isn't just a fight over a beautiful property. This is a $35 million legal threat, and when you combine it with the personal misconduct NDA claim, the picture becomes incredibly dark. Jolie's team is essentially arguing that Pitt is leveraging a $35 million lawsuit to punish her for refusing to be silenced about his alleged abuse. This filing proves this isn't just a legal disagreement. It is a $35 million lawsuit that, according to Jolie's team, is entirely linked to her refusal to be silenced. While Pitt's team is focused on the money and the business, Newly surfaced emails from Jolie's side show the devastating personal cost of this fight. According to a report from Pop Rant on November 7, 2025, separate emails from Angelina Jolie to her business manager have now surfaced. These messages allegedly show the human toll behind the corporate headlines. In these messages, Jolie allegedly states that the continued legal stress is directly impacting her well-being. The report claims she wrote that the pressure from the ongoing legal battles is starting to make her, quote, physically unwell. She allegedly expressed a desperate need to cut ties with anything or anyone that was fueling that anxiety and stress in her life. This paints a picture of complete emotional and physical exhaustion, a world away from the cold legal posturing. It's a direct contradiction to the narrative Pitt's team has pushed, of a cold, vindictive business partner. Instead, these emails suggest a person trying to escape a painful situation, a partnership that she felt was, in her words, making her physically sick. This context makes her 2021 sale of her share look less like a malicious business move and more like an act of self-preservation, an attempt to get free from a situation she found toxic. This context suggests Jolie's 2021 sale of her share wasn't just a business move, but an attempt to get free from a partnership that she felt was making her physically sick. So, if these emails are so damaging to Pitt's narrative, why would his own legal team file them? This is the central PR and legal strategy. You have to understand what Pitt's lawyers were trying to do. The entire point of their October 29, 2025 motion was to paint Jolie as a deceptive and bad actor. They are trying to force her to turn over 22 specific documents that she is claiming are protected by attorney-client privilege. Pitt's argument is that she is improperly withholding information that is relevant to her 2021 sale to the Stoli Group. They are trying to prove that she sold her share with malice, specifically to harm him and his business. By submitting the email that mentions the $35 million demand, they were trying to show the judge, see, we have a serious claim for damages, and she is hiding the very documents that would prove it. But in doing so, they also published the personal misconduct NDA part. Jolie's attorney Paul Murphy immediately fired back with a statement to People magazine on November 5th. He said, quote, Mr. Pitt's reply brief does not address our arguments and continues to rely on conjecture and speculation, all for the purpose of invading her privileged communications with her lawyers. He then delivered the final blow, saying, quote, this once again confirms that this lawsuit is the manifestation of Mr. Pitt's years-long effort to harass and control Angelina. We look forward to the upcoming hearing. The next hearing is scheduled for December 17th. Pitt's legal team made a calculated risk. They exposed the $35 million and NDA claims in order to accuse Angelina of hiding evidence, betting the judge would care more about the alleged deception than the PR blowback. But that PR blowback is now extending beyond the courtroom and into Brad Pitt's personal life. This endless, all-consuming legal war is reportedly causing serious problems for his new relationship. According to a report from Radar Online published by iNews on November 13, 2025, the daily grind of this lawsuit is creating massive tension with his partner, Inés de Ramón. An insider allegedly claimed that de Ramón is growing frustrated with the situation. She reportedly has a name for Pitt's shift in demeanor, calling it his, quote, fight mode, which comes out whenever he has to deal with the Jolie lawsuit. The source claimed this fight mode is a stark contrast to his usual calm, grounded personality, and that this pattern is, quote, wearing her down. The report also claimed that friends of de Ramón have expressed concern, seeing his relentless, obsessive focus on the case as a potential red flag, especially since the fight is with the mother of his children. This shows the massive collateral damage of the lawsuit. It's not just costing millions in legal fees. It's a conflict so all-consuming that it's now allegedly threatening his current happiness and stability. So let's be clear on what really happened. The public expectation was that this was a simple, though bitter, winery dispute. But Brad Pitt's own filing just changed the entire story. The reality is that his team put on the public record that he is seeking $35 million in damages. And in that same filing, they included an email from Jolie's lawyers that explicitly ties this whole war to her refusal to sign a personal misconduct NDA. We've seen the financial demands, the alleged PR motives to paint Jolie as a villain, and the devastating emotional and personal cost of this endless battle, which is now reportedly spilling over into his new relationship. The insider takeaway is this: this was never about the wine.
It's about controlling the narrative. And in a stunning legal misfire, Pitt's team just lost control of it by publicizing Jolie's strongest claims themselves. This entire playbook, using high-priced lawyers and strategic lawsuits to manage a PR crisis, is the exact same tactic we see across Hollywood. It's a pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. To understand how this strategy repeats, you need to watch the full breakdown in our Fresh Celebrity Tea playlist. Click the box on the screen now.